Urine. The most common smell people complain about is the sharp urine or ammonia smell, and it's annoying because it can appear even when the toilet bowl looks spotless. What's usually happening is splashback drying on the porcelain where you don't notice it, urine collecting under the seat hinges, or a slow buildup in grout lines near the toilet base. Sometimes there can even be a tiny leak at the base seal that you wouldn't see unless you actually wiped around it. This smell is one of the easiest to solve if you stop cleaning only what you can see. When you clean, focus on the underside of the rim, the hinge area, the front outer curve of the toilet, and the base edge where the toilet meets the floor. Enzyme-based cleaners are especially useful here because they don't just perfume the area, they break down the actual residues that cause the smell. Once you've done a proper clean, the big prevention habit is keeping that front splash zone dry and doing a quick wipe more often instead of waiting for the smell to announce itself. Rotten eggs. The next smell that makes people instantly worried is the sewer gas or rotten egg smell. This one usually points to the drains rather than the toilet bowl itself, and it tends to show up in bathrooms that have an unused shower, a guest sink, or a floor drain that doesn't get water running through it often. Drains are designed with a water trap that blocks sewer gas, but if that trap dries out, the barrier disappears and the smell can rise straight into the room. Even if the trap isn't dry, a slimy layer called biofilm can build up inside the drain and release that nasty smell whenever the water disturbs it. The simplest fix is to run water through every drain in the bathroom, including the shower and sink, and then treat the drain with a proper enzyme drain cleaner that can break down the gunk over time. Once you've fixed it, the best prevention is boring but powerful. Run water for a few seconds in every drain once a week, especially in bathrooms you don't use daily. Old bathroom smell. Another big category is the musty, damp, old bathroom smell, which is less dramatic than sewer gas but makes the whole room feel unpleasant and stale. This smell is often coming from fabrics and soft surfaces that never fully dry, like towels, bath mats, shower curtain liners, and sometimes even a laundry pile sitting in the corner. A towel that stays slightly damp for hours becomes a perfect home for bacteria, and that bacteria is what produces the musty smell. The fix is not more air freshener. The fix is full drying. Wash towels and mats properly, dry them completely, and stop letting them dry bunched up on a hook like a wet wad of cloth. If the bathroom doesn't ventilate well, even cracking the door open after showers can make a huge difference. A small shift in routine, like hanging the mat over the tub to dry instead of leaving it on the floor, often removes this smell faster than any product. A deeper, earthier mold smell usually means something is actually growing in a damp spot that stays wet too long. The usual hotspots are the silicone lines around the bath and shower, the grout between tiles, the corners of the ceiling where condensation collects, and hidden areas like behind the toilet or under the sink where a tiny drip can keep the space damp. Mold smells tend to cling because the source keeps feeding itself as long as moisture is present. If you notice blackness or discoloration along silicone, it often needs targeted mold treatment, and sometimes old silicone that is peeling or porous needs replacing because it will keep holding damp no matter how much you scrub. The best long-term solution for moldy smells is reducing how long surfaces stay wet. Quick habits like squeegeeing shower walls after use and keeping the bathroom warm enough to dry can make the biggest difference because mold isn't impressed by perfume, but it absolutely hates dryness. Fishy smell. A fishy or stale water smell can be really confusing because people assume it must be the toilet, but it often comes from the sink and the parts you don't think about. The drain stopper, the overflow hole in the sink, and the slimy edges under the plug can hold trapped gunk that starts to smell sharp and sour. This smell can also come from cleaning cloths or sponges left damp under the sink, especially if they've been used on the toilet area and then put away wet. The fix is simple but specific. Clean the stopper properly, scrub the visible drain edges, and don't forget the overflow channel because it's basically a hidden tunnel where bacteria can party. Once it's clean, it stays clean longer than people expect if you just give the stopper a quick clean every week and stop storing damp cloths in dark cupboards. Poop smell. The poop smell that won't leave is usually not about what just happened in the toilet. It's about what's holding on to smells and slowly releasing them. The main culprits are the toilet brush and its holder, and the bathroom bin, especially if it's holding tissues, wipes, or anything that traps odor. A toilet brush holder can turn into a gross little swamp that you stop noticing because you don't look at it, but the smell is always there. The fix is washing the holder, disinfecting it properly, and sometimes just replacing the brush if it's old. The bin needs cleaning too, not just emptying, because odors soak into the plastic and residue sticks to the bottom. Once those two things are clean, bathrooms often smell normal again, without any fancy sprays. Dirty sock smell. A dirty sock or sour smell usually comes from soft items that are wet and porous, like loofahs, bath toys, bath mats, and even the shower curtain liner. Loofahs in particular can get disgusting fast because they stay wet and collect skin oils and soap residue. Bath toys can trap water inside and turn into a hidden mold reservoir, which is both gross and slightly horrifying once you realize it. The fix here is refresh, not perfection. Replace loofahs regularly, dry things properly, and don't keep items that never fully dry. If you want your bathroom to smell clean, the real secret is to stop letting wet things sit around pretending they're fine. Chemical smell. Sometimes the bathroom smells like chemical perfume funk, which sounds better than mold, but can actually be worse because it means you're masking the real smell and mixing it with artificial scent. When multiple scented products pile up, the room starts to smell heavy, fake, and vaguely nauseating, and the real source becomes harder to identify. In these cases, the smartest move is to remove the scented stuff for a day and let the bathroom tell the truth. Once the fragrance is gone, you can locate the source properly using the zones: toilet, drains, fabrics, hidden damp. Most bathrooms don't need more smell. They need less damp and less residue. If you want a simple weekly routine that prevents most of these smells without turning your life into cleaning content, keep it short and consistent. Run water through the drains so traps stay filled, wipe the toilet hinge and base area where residue hides, and hang towels and mats so they dry fully instead of staying damp on the floor. Bathrooms don't become smelly because you failed at cleaning. They become smelly because one small hidden place stays wet and dirty long enough to start producing odor. Fix the hiding place and the whole room changes. Tell me the exact smell you've got and where it's strongest. Near the drain, near the toilet base, or near towels, and I'll tell you the most likely cause and the quickest fix.